More severe weather is heading to North Texas and the country.
New changes for the NBA coming next season.
And why the month of April is important for child abuse prevention.
Broadcasting live from the University of North Texas, this is ntTV News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining ntTV News at Noon. I'm Mark Barrera.
And I'm Isabella Quintanilla.
Well, Isabella, it seems like the more days go by, the more I don't know how to prepare for the weather.
I know. Here in Texas, it's been crazy. I mean, all week, bad weather. And then yesterday, sunny skies.
Right.
So it is what it is.
I'm sure our weather expert, Peter Raybell, can tell us more.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, if we're looking at what we've got our current conditions right now, it's pretty cloudy outside. It's going to stay cloudy for most of the day. It is 80 degrees outside. It's very humid, 80 degrees. It does feel like 80, but not any warmer, which is nice. We've got 19-mile-an-hour winds that are kind of keeping the humidity moving through the air, so it doesn't feel too stale. But as we move into tonight, I want you to notice that the wind is actually going to pick up. Those speeds are going to get a little bit faster tonight. So that 64-degree temperature is going to feel just a little cooler at 62. It's going to feel a lot cooler in the evening than it is once the sun goes down outside right now. It's going to stay cloudy tonight. And then tomorrow, you'll see that we're going to have clouds in the morning, and then they're going to break up. It's going to be partly cloudy throughout most of the daytime. And then as we move into the tomorrow night, it's going to get cloudy again. It's going to be 77. It'll feel just a little cooler at 76. That's mostly the winds still just kind of keeping that air moving. But do notice that the wind speed is going to calm down a little bit afterwards. But that's all for your first look. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Peter. Former President Donald Trump will be in a Manhattan courtroom today, awaiting for his hearing on over 30 business fraud-related charges. The former president has been in the light of a lot of controversies lately, which have many Americans waiting to see what happens next. CNN's Gloria Pazmino has more on the story.
No broadcast cameras in the courtroom. That's according to the judge presiding over the arraignment of former President Donald Trump in Manhattan today, rejecting the request made by several media outlets to broadcast the historic proceedings. Meanwhile, New York City is preparing for a moment never before seen in the United States, as Trump becomes the first former or sitting president to be criminally charged.
Obviously, this is different. This has never happened before. I've never had Secret Service involved in an arraignment before.
Security will be tight with street closures until after the arraignment. The city says they are actively monitoring any threats of violence or mass demonstrations, including those by a Georgia representative and Trump supporter.
And although we have no specific threats, people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is known to spread misinformation and hate speech, she stated she's coming to town. While you're in town, be on your best behavior.
Trump is expected to enter a plea of not guilty to the dozens of charges he's set to face, charges his legal team is ready to challenge.
We know that this was based on Stormy Daniels. We know what's in it. It's a bunch of garbage.
In New York, I'm Gloria Pazmino.
Two odd crimes involving cars happened in Houston this past week. The first happened in a residential area where a car sped past a stop sign and crashed into a house. According to the family, it hit the garage and the bathroom, but luckily no one was in either of those areas during the impact. It has not been released if the driver is being charged. The second happened after a man stole a box truck, leading to a high-speed chase with officers. He ended up driving into a terminal building at the Bush Intercontinental Airport. The crash did not impact airport operations, and Harris County Police say the driver has since been apprehended.
After the break, more on weather coming to North Texas.
And later, a look at an important issue being highlighted in the month of April. We'll be right back.
Did you know you have access to video equipment like DVDs, video games, and cameras? That's right, you do. Come on down to Chilton Library and fulfill your media dream. Located on the bottom floor next to the student sculpture. Hope to see you there soon. Hey girl, you know you look good. I like the way you move and groove.
I'm not sure. Has the weight of stress and anxiety ever felt too heavy to overcome? Wish there was a safe place to confide in? Wish granted. At UNT, we offer counseling and testing services to students located on the 3rd floor of Chestnut Hall. UNT, we're here for you.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story is going to be awesome.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Multiple severe storm systems have been making their way across the U.S., and another is on the way. Before we check in with our weather anchor Peter Raybell, here's a look at the areas impacted so far with CNN's Amy Kiley.
Dangerous weather continues moving across the U.S., leaving behind a trail of destruction and death. This video shows hail falling near Dallas. Today, that storm system pushing through Louisiana.
This is just an unbelievably tragic moment for our state.
At least 5 people are dead after a twister hit Arkansas over the weekend.
We have activated the National Guard in the hardest hit areas of the state.
Just across the state line, Tennessee reports at least 15 deaths, with one in Alabama and another in Mississippi. The weather isn't sparing the north either.
3 individuals have lost their lives in the tornadoes that came through Crawford County.
Illinois communities are reeling from tornadoes. At least 5 people are dead due to severe weather in Indiana, with another fatality in Delaware. Now, a snowstorm is moving across northern states, and it could bring a spring blizzard to South Dakota.
If anybody has learned a lesson, it is that when those alerts come in, we need to take them seriously.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Well, Isabella, it is that time of year for tornadoes and bad weather, and I wonder if we can expect any more here in North Texas.
Well, I would hope we're through it, but it is Texas, so we'll see what we can expect. Let's head over to our weather anchor, Peter Raybell, to see what we can expect for the upcoming week.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, I know we've got some more storms heading in tonight. We're looking at, this is the early afternoon or early evening, late afternoon today. There is an elevated fire danger coming in Cisco and Graham County. Just the weather over there is a little bit drier. And as we have these storms that are going to be over in the east, we'll have severe, strong thunderstorms in the DFW area and in Paris, Gainesville area. But just keep in mind the 2 sides of Texas right now is going to be a little bit wet and a little bit dry. So we'll need to make sure that, you're taking your necessary precautions for either side. And then as we move into the evening, you're going to see that we've got this whole severe cell here is going to just move east. DFW is going to get out of the main area of it pretty fast, but Paris specifically is going to have that severe weather kind of stay as the evening and kind of grow as the evening goes on. Also, be aware that we have this cold front coming in with this warm front. So southern Texas is going to feel warm, but then the cold front's going to push in and kind of take over all of that. And that's just going to be throughout the night. You're going to feel those changes as we move move into tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, let's talk about the 7-day forecast that you're going to see coming through today or tomorrow. 77, that cold front pushing pretty slowly in. It's going to get as low as 55, which is going to be kind of nice right when you wake up. There's that 50% chance of rain. I don't know really if we're going to expect to see any because those clouds are going to move through. Like I said, tomorrow it'll be pretty clear skies. So we'll see what that turns out with that. But then notice as we move into the late end of the week here and into Saturday, it's going to be in the 40s again with that cold front that you saw on that map. And then on Saturday, it's going to start warming up. You'll see 69, and then we're going to have 70s throughout the rest of the week. And as we head into early next week, you'll see 80 degrees again. It'll start feeling like it felt at the beginning of this week, but everything's always changing. That's Texas. But, you know, that's all I have for your 7-day forecast. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Peter. Changing gears now from weather to an issue in various communities. In the month of April, we honor all the children who have suffered from child abuse.
Although one child may report their abuse, 9 more are suffering in silence. Our reporter, Carla Castillo, is at the Children's Advocacy Center here in Denton to tell us more about this. Carla?
No? Thanks, guys. The Children's Advocacy Center here in Denton has helped 407 children's lives. The Children's Advocacy Center of North Texas mission is to help empower those children who have been abused by helping them, their families, and the community by education, healing, and justice. The Center of Disease Control and Prevention shares that 1 out of 7 children alone are abused or neglected this past year. Around 1,750 children have sadly died due to abuse or neglect. A lot of children who suffer abuse or neglect experience it because they live under the poverty line. The rates for children under poverty are 5 times higher. This can be due to stress families have to provide for their families. Child maltreatment alone is very expensive. The economic burden that comes from child abuse and neglect was around $592 billion in 2018. Those numbers are a lot higher now. But here in Denton, the Children's Advocacy Center has a lot of education programs for us to better advocate for our children. Some of these programs come to you at no cost at all and include child safety, personal safety, and sexual assault awareness. But this is all I have for you guys, but for more information, let's hand it back to the desk.
Thanks, Carla. If you or anyone you know wants to receive more information on these programs, please call 972-317-2818 or visit their website at cacnorthtexas.org. If you prefer to visit the Children's Advocacy Center, they have 3 centers in Denton, Louisville, and 1 in Wise County. If you or someone who is being abused would like to report abuse, please call your local officials.
Coming up on ntTV News, housing concerns for UNT students.
And new live-action Disney movie has been announced. More on that in a few minutes.
I'm here to rescue you.
Oh, my prince.
No so fast.
This story's going to be awesome.
Can I see your voter registration, please? All right, you're good. No registration, no entry. All right. Let me see your voter registration card, please.
I'm not registered to vote.
No registration, no entry.
Dude, my friends are already in there.
No registration, no entry.
What the?
Join the club. Register to vote today.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Let's get started. This is a motor vehicle. This is the blinker mechanism. To use it, push it up for the right blinker and down to go left. You're welcome. It was easy.
If you think it feels like there are more people on campus, then you're right. The growth at UNT is presenting a problem for the administration, setting aside more on-campus housing for a bigger incoming freshman class or continuing to provide housing for upperclassmen also on campus. ntTV's Sydney Jolivet has more on this difficult situation.
Living on campus is a vital part of the college experience. But can the University of North Texas offer that to every single one of its 40,000 plus students? Christine McCarver, a UNT junior, is experiencing on-campus housing for the first time while also being a resident hall assistant at West Hall.
Living on campus has been interesting. You know, I'm enjoying meeting new people and kind of missing out on the experience I had when I came in 2020. And you know, it's really beneficial because it's really bringing me out of my shell.
An increase in freshmen on campus not only changes the population, but it also affects the students who already attend this university.
Now it seems like the university really only cares about the freshmen. And there doesn't really seem to be any plan to help mediate that, additional transportation for students that don't have cars, which is why they're choosing to live on campus, or one or two washers that are broken, so that's one or two less we can use. And now I have to sit and wait.
With the focus seeming to be solely on freshmen, students are beginning to feel the uneasiness of being an upperclassman.
I've had some sophomore friends who wanted to stay on campus their sophomore year but weren't able to. They got denied because they turned the upper class residence halls into freshman residence halls. And I feel like that's not really fair.
Igosa, now going into his senior year, says it hurts to see the upperclassmen pushed to the side.
I feel like there's other sophomores or juniors or even seniors, in my case, that still wants to stay on campus that probably can't afford off-campus housing. All they can't afford is on-campus housing. And for them to not even have that option is really kind of sad.
Graduated senior and now resident community director for Rollins Hall, Efron Gannett, commented that the population of freshman students has grown by 24% and plans to repeat that in coming years, which makes his job a little bit harder.
Trying to help them understand that and try to help them navigate those things, I feel is a little more challenging because instead of having to meet maybe with 1 to 2 students per day, sometimes I have to meet with 10 to 12, and that I can't give every student the attention and the time that I want, and then to help them grow.
Gannett said that he has noticed a struggle for upperclassmen finding housing, but the goal remains to give freshmen a smooth transition to college life.
With the rise of freshman students, some challenges that I think we face as in housing is being able to cater for the needs of every student because they're living on their own for the first time. They're not used to being away from parents.
With UNT continuing to break its enrollment count every semester, students are starting to wonder, will this increase be better for students as a whole, or is UNT only focused on the numbers?
We will continue to follow this story this semester and in the fall.
The number of jobs that are now available have now dropped since February to 9.3 million. This is the lowest they've been since May 2021. It is down from the revised 10.56 million. The rise in these numbers show that a lot more people are quitting and a lot less people are getting hired. The labor market has always remained kind of tight, and due to the Federal Reserve works to help bring down inflation through a series of interest hikes.
And another company is laying off its workers. This time it's Walmart. The company is expected to lay off around 2,000 warehouse employees. The expected cuts are happening in Texas, Pennsylvania, Florida, and New Jersey. The company said that they are expecting slower sales and profit growth in the next year. Walmart will also increase its minimum wage from $12 to $14 an hour.
An estimated 1 of 6 people are actually infertile across the entire globe. According to researchers at the World Health Organization, the rates of infertility are similar in most countries and regions. The only differences are in the amount of money people are spending on treatments and how accessible they are. Researchers also say that the high rates of infertility come from the restricted access to health care for many.
Many Americans are struggling from chronic back pain. Finding resources or treatments to battle with this back pain is hard for many, but maybe artificial intelligence can help us with that. Here's Mandy Gaither.
It may be the future of massage therapy, a robot named Emma.
Emma stands for Expert Manipulative Massage Automation.
Dr. Brent Bauer is part of a team at Mayo Clinic studying this device, which uses a form of therapeutic massage called Tweena to target nonspecific low back pain.
This is actually a device that can actually detect acupuncture points and then deliver targeted therapy.
Bauer says right now there aren't enough massage therapists to meet demand. Emma may be able to help some of the workload.
It is designed to have artificial intelligence. It can learn each time it works with the same patient. It can map out different points of tenderness, muscle tension, and then through algorithms that are far beyond my comprehension, can actually target the machine to move from spot to spot, different depths.
Bauer says the device can also use different massage techniques with tools that can be attached to the arm. It can go from a rubbing motion to a pinching motion and more, but he says it wouldn't replace massage therapists.
If we set things up with a therapist, if the machine could do a lot of the heavy lifting, and then the therapist can kind of finalize and make sure things were covered, I think we can protect our therapists, allow them to see more patients, but with less wear and tear.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Hollywood is heating up. Disney has some new releases and some new superheroes are coming to the big screen. CNN's David Daniel has more.
We are so excited and happy to announce that a live-action reimagining of Moana is in the works.
Dwayne Johnson went back to Hawaii to announce he'll return as the demigod Maui in a live-action version of the animated hit Moana. He'll also be a producer on the film, which is in development. Johnson says he's proud of his Pacific Islander heritage, including his late grandfather, a wrestler known as the Flying Hawaiian.
When I bring Maui to life, I'm doing it in the spirit of my grandfather.
I've seen things I can't explain.
Indiana Jones is heading to Cannes. The world premiere of Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is set for May 18th at the Cannes Film Festival. The final installment of the iconic movie franchise is due in theaters June 30th.
I think he likes me. What the?
Host acquired.
Who said that? It's okay, it's gonna be okay!
Alien biotech turns a young man into Blue Beetle. Xolo Maridueña takes on the title role in the first solo movie for a Latino superhero. Blue Beetle soars into theaters to protect Palmera City August 18th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
I have to say, I'm really looking forward to that new Indiana Jones movie. It looks really good.
So is that Blue Beetle one.
Yeah. And now moving on to sports, I am glad that even if our Mavs are letting us down, at least UNT's basketball is, you know,
right.
taking some wins.
The mix of my emotions from watching UNT win, but then the Mavs lose, it's not okay.
Yeah, a little bit threw me off there, but yeah. Well, I know our sports anchor, Gabby Pippins, can tell us more. Gabby?
Yeah, that's right, guys. We will be talking about the significance behind UNT's championship win, how the Mavs are doing with the season coming to a close, and big changes to the NBA right after this. to make record-breaking history last Thursday in the NIT championship game. They faced off in Las Vegas against UAB, a team they've struggled with in the regular season, and won 68-61 when it counted the most. Now, this game is monumental for us since it's the biggest game ever won in UNT's history and our first ever NIT championship win. And this marks the beginning of a new era for our Mean Green. Now, this one was a little bittersweet as the head coach Grant McCaslin announced his leave for Texas Tech next season. However, the former associate coach Ross Hodge will be taking over, and things are definitely looking up for our Mean Green next season. The Dallas Mavericks have also encountered some roadblocks toward the end of their season, and with only 3 regular season games left, they sit at 11th in the Western Conference. Some people believe that their last-minute struggles are due to Kyrie Irving, but he's been playing his role close to perfect. I mean, he had 41 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists during Sunday's game against the Atlanta Hawks, but a last-minute foul in overtime sent Trae Young to the line to score 2 points, leading the Mavs to lose 132-130. Now, Luka did lead the team in assists with 7 assists, plus 22 points and 7 rebounds, but he'll need to better step into his leadership role if Dallas wants any chance of making the play-ins. Now, speaking of the Mavs, the National Basketball Association and the National Basketball Players Association have reached a deal for a new 7-year collective bargaining agreement. This new CBA is set to begin next season and brings several changes to the NBA. First, each team will have to start with an 80-game schedule and have 2 games added on later to reach the full 82. 4 of these games are also expected to become tournament games that will count for regular season standings, and the 2 teams in the tournament final will have an 83rd game that does not affect their standings. Players will also now have to play in at least 65 games to be eligible for awards such as Most Valuable Player and Defensive Player of the Year. And additionally, roster sizes may grow from 17 to 18 players with a 3rd 2-way contract available to teams. That's all I've got for sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Gabby. Well, there's plenty of artistic talent being shown off here at UNT this weekend, and students can't wait to flaunt their creativity in front of welcome friends and family.
Our own Tristan Van Beem took a closer look at what one company is doing for students.
Art at UNT is something that a lot of students are quite passionate about. However, we aren't just talking about paintings. This week's focus is fashion. Merchandising Inc. is hosting a fashion show here at UNT. This company has provided multiple fashion shows over the years, and this year's theme is all things spring. Students will bring their A game with bright and beautiful designs that sum up what the spring season is all about.
People can expect the unexpected. It's going to be such a great show. There's going to be a musical performance that is going to be an original, a cover and an original, as well as amazing runway pieces that designers and stylists and students here at UNT have been working on all semester.
If you're interested in celebrating the hard work of your fellow students, head to room 314 of the Union Emerald Ballroom this Saturday from 6:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tickets will be $8 at the door. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks for watching ntTV News at noon.
Join us again tomorrow night at 6 here on North Texas Television.